I know he's very funny, and he always will be funny. He's just genetically funny. However, actual, like, unironic Trump cognitive decline, you know? Listen to this, seriously.
Instead of keeping terrorists and terrorist sympathizers out of America, the Biden administration is inviting them in. You know why? Because he's got a boss. Who's his boss? Barack Hussein Obama. Barack Hussein. Barack Hussein Obama. Remember the great Rush Limbaugh? Barack Hussein Obama. Here you go, Barack Hussein Obama. Hello, Lee. Unbelievably, the corrupt Biden Department of Justice recently invited an Iranian-backed judge from Iraq to visit our nation's capital. Isn't that nice? He couldn't have been too impressed with our capital. It looks like shit. No, have you seen what they've done to it?
Yeah, he, like, so obviously he's hysterical. I just went to DC. It looks great, by the way. However, will point out, he actually is starting to act senile. That wasn't just, people have gotten on his case before about slurring words. I slur words. Everyone slurs words. I'll slur words more when I'm older, I assume. But this legitimately seemed like he couldn't stay on a topic, like brain drunk, you know what I mean? Yeah, he sounds like a drunk old man. It's also worth pointing out that, like, it's really funny for him to invoke Barack Obama, considering how irrelevant Barack Obama is right now. The reason he did, I mean, Barack Obama is the reason Donald Trump got into all this, right? Like, pretty much everyone agrees. The reason Donald Trump even threw his hat in the ring for presidency was because he got made fun of at that White House Correspondents' Dinner by Obama, and that was like the trigger point that set him off. Obama's politically, well, he's not politically irrelevant, but, like, how often does he come up, really? Come on. You know, it's not like he's an active government agent or whatever. But, like, rambling Barack Hussein Obama in 2023? You know? Like, it's just weird. It's like he's returning back to the emotional precursor, like the stuff that fueled him to begin with. My family has believed that Obama is the real presidential conspiracy since 2000. Yeah, whatever. Did you see the hummus clip? There is, like, a bunch of clips of him just... Hold on. Is this the same one?
Oh. So I'll do it just a quickie for you, okay, if you don't mind. So she gets down, she goes up, oh. And her parents are just so proud of her. And she's getting ready to make the last move. And she can't do it. So I'll do it.
No context. No context. No context. No context allowed, okay? You just have to deal with it with no context. He did the cute e-girl arm thing. Yeah. We have no chance against this man. I mean, like I've said, one of the biggest, like, impediments to his ability to campaign right now is the fact that he's spent all of his money and is completely broke and is racing between all of these legal cases that he's losing. And I mean, it's going to drain, that would drain the energy of, like, a young, healthy person, let alone a guy who's almost 80. So it's, in all likelihood, his brain is going to be turned into mulch much faster than previously. Vaush, I have a 60-something-year-old boss that actually believes the Obama is actually in control BS thing. To be clear, the only reason you would believe Obama is actually in control is if you're extremely racist. There is literally no reason to believe, like nothing, not a single hook, not a single narrative thread to cling on to that would lead a person to fixate on that other than a pathological fear of black people. That's it. That's literally it. There's zero other explanation. It's very revealing. So, Vaush, it's a fact that stress can turn your brain into soup? Yeah, absolutely. Stress kills you. 100%. And he is stressed. I have a coworker that still won't shut up about Michelle Obama's penis. That's more than just racism. Racism is a part of that, but you have several issues if that's your conspiracy of choice. Also, is that not an HR case? If your coworker is like, did Did you know the former first lady is a big black cock? Is that not like an HR thing to go? Like, I feel like you could, whatever. Your work situation probably doesn't allow for it, and HR doesn't do anything good anyway. Whatever. How is HR going to prove she's trans? Going to HR. Hey, can you settle this dispute between me and my coworker? Okay, so he thinks, you won't believe this, he thinks that Michelle Obama's got a big black cock. Now, I need you to mediate on this because I don't think she does. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you guys remember what Trump's rallies looked like back in 2016 and even back in like 2020, you'll remember that if he's ever had anything, it's energy. And the clips that I saw from this recent, because I saw like multiple, I listened to it while doing chores the other day, and it's like not. It's mostly him just slurring and kind of like following his train of thought, you know? Like it's like lost the plot, half drunk behavior. And I think a lot of that is due to cognitive decline that's being exacerbated by his worsening situation. This is excellent for us, okay? Joe Biden stammers and slurs and loses the plot pretty often. However, reports even from the right seem to indicate that he's pretty on the ball behind the scenes. Like, he misspeaks a lot, but he's cogent, he's there, he's present. So I don't think he's fallen apart quite yet, even if he gaffes decently often while speaking. I don't know to what extent Donald Trump is being like sort of holding himself up behind the scenes, but I think that this is going to play increasingly to our favor as the stress mounts of his inability to pay off his debts and fees, losing the court case. He lost recently his business license in New York City because his lawyer over and asked for a bench trial rather than a jury trial, and now he's trying to appeal that, and he's losing a bunch of money, and they're pursuing a $250 million civil case against him, and you know, a lot of stuff like that. So, whew, that bench trial news was insane. Yeah, it's pretty funny. All right. I never really thought that Biden's experiencing cognitive decline. Biden is like definitely old. He doesn't really act senile. He misspeaks a lot, and that is a problem if you're a presidential candidate or, you know, the president. But he does, yeah, he bumbles, but I don't remember him ever doing anything that indicates to me that he's actually like lost the train of thought. Does that make any sense? Like, people can be forgetful and misspeak, and that's one thing, and that's not great for a politician, of course, but that's one thing. But senility often involves like losing the plot of the conversation itself, where it's not just you've misspoken a few words or misplaced a sentence or something, but you've like drifted off of what's being talked about and sort of wandered off into a different thing, you know? And he doesn't have as much of an issue with that. I don't really think he does it, you know? Yeah, he has a speech impediment, which exacerbates the stumbling. But again, stumbling and being forgetful are one thing, whereas the losing the plot is the other. Trump has been losing the plot. Yeah. I think only like 30% of older folks even get dementia. You know, one of the best ways to prevent yourself from developing dementia and Alzheimer's is to play video games. That's why Biden is okay. It's because he's a gamer and Donald Trump isn't. Exercise too? Yes. Wait, really? Yes. The best way to keep yourself from like losing the plot as you grow older is just keep doing things. That's so not true, lol. No, it's true. Video game prevent dementia. Not prevent, but you know. Video games show potential in improving key aspects of memory in older adults from 2020. Well, that's memory. What about like Alzheimer's or dementia or whatever? Let me see. A new study confirms playing 3D video games for 30 minutes a day is effective against dementia in older adults. 3D only? Only 3D video games? Maybe that's like a spatial memory thing where like navigating a 3D space requires different parts of your brain than a 2D space. Imagine a guy like going plumb retarded because he plays like Hollow Knight or something, but then there's like an Overwatch gamer who's like 93 years old and his brain is still sharp as a razor. guy who like you have all these like older people or whatever who are playing like Hollow Knight or Castlevania or shit, and they've all lost it. And you have a guy who plays Fortnite and he's still doing great. Here we go. Connection between brain games and dementia prevention. Brain games. I think it works with video games generally. Significant improvement in working memory and executive function. The basic gist is like if you want to avoid dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever, you have to have a purpose, and you have to be like working on mental problems to achieve that purpose. This is one of the reasons why like couples when they're old tend to die together, because a person's reason for living, if like they live for another person and that person dies, like their mind just does not put as much effort into keeping them alive. Whereas you'll have these like weird situations where there will be like an Italian like wine farmer who like has been doing backbreaking labor for 80 years, and they're 104 years old, and for some reason they can just hold like a perfect conversation. You know what I mean? Like they're really fucking old, but they can engage with you like that, you know? You have to have the purpose, you have to want, there's things you have to do, and you have to use your brain to do those things. And if you can do that, you can usually ward off a lot of the effects of senility. Yeah, it's a use it or lose it situation. Yeah. Did you know playing monkey ball can help surgeons with their hand steadiness during operations? Is that true? Interesting.